Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Question is, what's the difference between a spring latch and a dead latch? Spring latches are used on non-keyed functions. So you could, if you were to scrutinize latch bolts, you'll see ones that have a little slide trigger on the flat side of the latch bolt, and those that do not. You'll notice a correlation between non-keyed functions and not having that slide tab, and keyed function and having it. So that's what a spring latch is called. And the difference really is, if you were to install the spring latch, you could Lloyd the latch, meaning you could put something on there like a butter knife and push it back with a properly installed dead latch, because that deadlocking tab is depressed when the strike and the latch bolt are communicating correctly when the door is in the closed position. You can't Lloyd that back. It deadlocks the latch bolt.
Right. Okay. So it can only be opened from one side then. No, actually, you can only be opened by turning the knob. You can open it from either side if you have the proper rights and privileges over that side of the door, like have a key or whatever. But it prevents you from Lloyding or tampering, or jimmying is the term, the latch bolt itself. Familiar with that. And so when we talk as a passage lock set, that means that infers with no key that you can open it from both sides. Just you walk up to it, you open it, you can't lock it. Is that correct?
Well, that would be correct. It would be independent of the latch bolt operation. But yes, if you put a dead latch on that passage, you could still enter or exit with no special knowledge, no special tools, 100% of the time.
Right, okay. This is going to a mechanical room, or actually a laundry/mechanical room in a condo building where we're doing some renovation on 3 floors. We had to change the doors out for fire-rated doors, etc. So, hence, this, and we wanted to keep it in keeping with the rest of the building, just because that's what people want. So I'm looking for a square corner dead latch, as we said. No, I'm sorry.
You'd want a spring latch if you want what was there installed originally. Yeah. Now, in terms of 2 3/4, speaking about back set, that's the distance from the edge of the door to the center of the hole. You're definitely going to want to check that, because something built in the 1960s could very likely be 2 3/8. And if that's the case, then we have to know that, because Schlage charges more for a 2 3/8 on a D series. Yeah.
It's a brand new door, but I will check that.
Forgive me. You're supplying a brand new door. I'm quite sure that it's going to be 2 3/4. However, you need to define to your door guy or to your lock guy what back set you want. So if you're doing 2 3/4 on the locks, make sure your door guy knows you need 2 3/4.
Well, the good news is we're making that ourselves. But yes, I will. I will.
How are you
I'm
making
fairly
fire-rated
confident,
doors?
Sorry, we're not making a door. We will be
supplying.
I misquote, we'll be supplying and installing, but it will be pre-drilled. But I will check that 2 3/4. I'm pretty confident that number rings a bell, but I never trust my memory.
You shouldn't. Mine is not specifically not to be trusted.
Yeah, mine is the day that I think I've got a great memory is the day it lets me down, especially when it comes to details. I mean, I'm pretty good at remembering situations, but I never try and remember the detail of that situation. I'll remember the discussion and what it was about, and I always go and look for something a bit more accurate than my failing brain.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and what would the lead time be on these?
They're in stock. I've got them in Philadelphia. They'll ship same or next day.
Okay, so I just then go in, buy them on a credit card, and they come over. What was your name, sir? I didn't.
My name is Richard.
Richard. Okay, so you say it's your family business?
It is, in fact, 5 generations now.
Yeah. Wow, seen a lot of changes then.
There's been lots of changes. I mean, my experience goes back 3 decades, so I can't talk to you about certain things, but. I can talk to you about how ADA took over our industry literally overnight. I remember that quite well.
Yeah. And I know that on this particular project, the architect, we had, because it was to do with fire remediation and stuff, there was an architect involved, and he quoted using handles, and some of the people in the building and we'd explained they were ADA compliant. We didn't say you have to be. We said they are. FYI, they are. And there was people in this building complaining that you think this is an old people's home. Some of them were really quite angry about the insinuation that they may need handles, not knobs. And we weren't saying that at all. We were just saying, it's up to you. You can have whatever you like.
in your own units, you can have whatever you like. It's just, like my small amount of shock that you were asking for a tulip. Yeah, no one's asked for a tulip since 1992. So
yeah. And there's a couple of people here who are passionate about it. There's the board falls into two categories. None of it is anything to do with me, but I hear all their complaining is, some people want to update everything, and some people want to keep it like it was. And I have to say to them, I don't mind. I just need a decision. The fire department doesn't mind because it's a condo building and it's not public access. They're not insisting you have levers. The city of Naples aren't insisting you have levers. It's just a choice. What would you like?
Yeah, don't overthink it. I think knobs are better in the sense of a long term. There's less leverage that you can apply to a knob versus a lever, in terms of the internal springs.
Yeah.
But, some people don't. But tulip has come around, though. That mid-20th century look. That's the new thing nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if tulip and bell would be the other knob in Schlag's line that looks like that. Experiences a resurgence. It's probably why there's a case of them on the shelf.
I mean, I kind of like the look.
They're
not horrible. I mean, there's certain things we do and we're asked to do, and in things we build, and I think really, somebody went out of their way to choose this, But I find them non-offensive. I find them smooth look, good to use, nice and sturdy, especially that commercial range.
Oh, that D-grade that's the killer lock from Schlag.
Is that? It's interesting. What kind of brand do you sell the most of, would you say? Is there such a
in terms of locks, Schlag is probably the leader, but we sell a lot of Sargent, Corbin Russwin, Yale, in the commercial business, in the commercial side, but Schlag would be the clear leader. There's more market penetration of in-stock material for Schlag than anyone else.
Yeah. I find doing the job I'm doing, because so many people now can go online and reference stuff, or go to Home Depot and look at stuff, and they don't realize they're not looking at like for like. We'll put proposals together and people are like, wow, that's expensive. Like, yeah, but you're not looking at something that will last in a commercial application. And
it's neglectful to put a grade, depending on the application, you put a grade 3 lock into a condo building. Well, you better buy a couple of them because you're going to need them.
Yeah. Buy two and put one on the shelf just in case you need to change the parts out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds good. I can go ahead and order these. Great. Thank you. And I really appreciate taking the time to give me the education, because I'm new to this business, and I have found with some of the, I would say, local suppliers who clearly go to somewhere else, we're not getting the service we would like. And I think the whole world, in our real lives, we very often go and look up things online. We don't, call somebody down the road who's going to call somebody else somewhere else, and, that chain, we can shorten it. And I've had good success doing that.
There's no doubt. I mean, it's, providing service is why, Amazon will eat a lot of our lunch, but they're never, ever going to be able to compete on service because there's no money in it for them. So, possessing an expert level, intimate level of understanding of a D10S and a tulip is how we make a living. I'm a certified fire door assembly inspector. I'm a certified registered locksmith. I'm ADAM certified, which means I can work on automatic doors and test them, amongst a couple of other credentials. Without those, I might as well just go work for Amazon.
Yeah. What was interesting to me is, I wasn't really expecting a human being to answer the phone when I called your number, because, very often you get a lot of choices. And then to ask for something, and the person say, wow, you're going back in time, clearly it's somebody who knows the industry.
Yeah, yeah.
And as now I know why, but that's great because so many people now, I'm finding that moving in this industry. I was just dealing with a fire company to do with enclosures for standpipes. The standpipe comes up the wall and you have a little door on it to make it look pretty, but you've got to be able to get in there and hook a fire hose on.
Yeah, an access panel, sure.
And it wasn't a great conversation. It wasn't going well. But then the person made an apology for being new to the job in the industry. I went, okay, well, so am I. How long have you been with your company doing these sorts of quotes? 4 years.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, if you don't know what the offset from the front of a drywall is to the center line of a standpipe built into the drywall and how to measure it, and you've been doing this 4 years, you're never going to get it.
Yeah, the delivery driver knows that.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to prove to yourself. You've already. That's like taking a school course for 4 years and getting an ungraded. You're better off telling people you didn't take the course. But anyway, that's just, we had a schoolmaster like that who would recommend to some parents that we do not submit your child for the final exam, and they would be horrified. And he said, but they have studied this for 2 years, and if they get an ungraded, they've got a certificate to prove they can't do it. It would serve them better in life to say, I've never done that.
Yeah, no doubt. It's
he lost his job over it because he was honest.
Yeah, well, that's the other side of our industry. You get to a point where bedside manner kind of goes out the window because, you can't tell somebody who knows the job how to do the job.
Yeah, it's right. It's interesting. All right, appreciate that. Thank you so much, Richard. That's a great start to the day.
I'm glad you called. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.